For months, the media controlled the narrative. They called him a product of hype. They questioned his work ethic, his background, and his ability to lead an NFL franchise. But when Coach Prime pulled up to the barbershop, the filters came off. This isn't just an interview. It's a masterclass on pressure, legacy, and what really happened behind closed doors before Shedeur Sanders became a Cleveland Brown.
Cleveland Browns fan, Cleveland, in general, sports news, everywhere. We got a special exclusive for you today. And tonight is one of the moments where it reminds you why sports matters beyond the scoreboard. Because every once in a while, somebody comes along that changes the culture, not just the game. Our guest tonight did that as a player, as a businessman, as a coach, as a father, and honestly, as a brand before athlete branding was even a thing. Two-sport legend, Hall of Famer, World Series and Super Bowl competitor, cultural icon, coach, mentor, and now watching his son navigate one of the most passionate football cities in America, Cleveland, Ohio. But tonight, this isn't about the headlines. This is about leadership. This is about fatherhood. This is about pressure. This is about growth, competition, and legacy, and what it really takes to thrive under the brightest lights in sports. So Browns fans, football fans, and everybody watching around the country, it's an honor to welcome to the barbershop, Coach Prime.
Let me tell you something, my brother. This is well overdue. I want to thank you for standing up when everyone else chose to sit. We don't ask for you to do us any favors. We just ask for you to disperse the truth and the heartbeat of who we are. And you've done that unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt. And I thank you as a father. I'm speaking to you as a father right now. I thank you so much for just standing up and you know, you call a spade a spade. If he ain't doing his job, it is what it is. I check him before y'all check him, so it's all good. He used to that. But I just want to thank you for being the brother you are, man. That's why I'm here, because there's a relationship, there's a trust, and I don't trust everybody.
Well, that means a lot. I've grown up watching you as an athlete, a former Division I athlete. I've grown up watching you in baseball and football and doing what you've done. And I'm a fan of what you mean, not only specifically to people in general, but as a man of faith like myself. So it's a blessing to have you here. And Coach, first and foremost, I do appreciate you joining us tonight. This is a major moment for the platform. But fans here in Cleveland, because there's so much attention surrounding Shedeur's journey right now. What's the fascinating thing about his career is that part of the time, people are really watching him build his own identity away from you coaching him directly every day. So the first question is, what is it like for you as a father watching the growth happen from afar instead of being there every step of the way in the process as his coach?
You know what? I'm so glad you divided that, because you got to understand, when you're talking to me as a football coach, a former killer out there on the grass, as well as a father. So I'm glad you're slicing it up. So now you're asking from a father's point of view. Man, I'm proud of him for the journey. The journey has been tremendous. You guys have no idea what he's gone through emotionally, mentally, psychologically, because when you've always been this guy, and then God allows you to not fall, because he definitely ain't fall, but to be categorized in a certain way, and you can't do nothing about it but sit back and try to navigate this journey as best as possible. I'm proud of him, man, because he never flinched. He never broke. A lot of things he didn't understand. We still don't understand. And you got to understand now, I before I start coaching, that you guys knew Coach Prime, I was in media for 20 years, man.
To understand the Sanders family, you have to understand that they know exactly how the media machine operates. Before the championships, before the coaching whistles, Deion Sanders spent 2 decades inside the network boardrooms. They aren't just reading the headlines, they are tracking the sources.
So I know the backdrops of all these things, the Ian Rappaports, the Adam Schefter's, everybody you could think of. When I was with the NFL Network, CBS, as well as Barstools, I know how this stuff works. So a lot of things that was said, that was noted, my brother, we knew what time it was. We knew where it came from because it's a phone call for me. Because you got to forget, I was in that lane for a long time. So I'm sitting at the desk seeing the calls coming from owners, GMs, coaches, players, trainers, about the players, who was going to play, who wasn't going to play, who's doing this. I was sitting right by these guys from the NFL Network and CBS and so forth. And I understand how this works. So a lot of things that was said, it wasn't a buck. And it bothered me, but it didn't bother him. He just wanted the opportunity to get on the grass and do his thing. And I'm proud of him as a man, how he's developed and his relationship with the Lord has strengthened so much. And that's one thing I'm truly proud of. So a lot of things that they think bother him, it don't bother Grown. I call it Grown. That's his nickname. It don't bother Grown, man. Grown. I heard somebody on the I don't know if it's the gram or whatever, talking about he pays too much attention to social. No, he don't. Like he could care less because he is who he is. He's not going to be influenced. Or now, one thing about the family, we keep receipts. Now we do that. we know who's who talks about it. So when we come up, we understand who not to get down with. So we know that for a fact, my brother.
That's a powerful, that's powerful there, Coach, when you talk about, his faith in that growing, because I think a lot of people in Cleveland are still trying to separate the headlines and the social media image from who Shedeur is exactly as a man and a teammate. So a lot of people see the confidence. They see the jewelry. They see the spotlight.
Why wouldn't you see that? You were birthed from that. Like, this is what we do. It's not that we're trying to show out a showboat. This is how it was. Like, if you pull up videos when he was 12 and 10, it was that. Like, that's where we come from. That's how he was exposed. And that's what it was for him. So that was like a badge of honor when he could rope up or chain up or link up. Then he turned to gold to diamonds. Like that. That's where we come from, man. So you can't fault a man for understanding where he came from. And that was the come up. That in our neighborhood, in our inner city, see, you getting caught up in thinking how he grew up. He didn't grow up with no silver spoon. He didn't grow up with no credit cards. I took him to the other side of town, man.
Critics get blinded by the flash. They see the diamonds and assume a silver spoon. But Coach Prime intentionally built his kid's foundation somewhere else. To understand Shedeur's toughness, you have to go past the gated communities and straight to the gridirons of South Dallas, where confidence isn't a luxury, it's armor.
He grew up in South Dallas. Yeah, he grew up playing ball against us. like he and Shiloh and my daughter. Bossy played quarterback too. So we grew up on the other side. I took them to the other side so they could have that ingredient in them. When times got rough like they did, they would know how to respond.
So that led right into where I was going. I say, look, what is something that a lot of people don't see about his toughness, his leadership, his preparation that maybe people in Cleveland have not seen yet that you've seen up close and personal?
Well, if you haven't seen that, you ain't looking, because he's always been a leader. It was some ignorant things came out about him pre-draft and all that. And that was a lie. Like, he would never go into a meeting with headphones on. He would never go into a meeting unprepared. Like, that's just not who he is. There's no way he could accomplish the things he accomplished without being prepared. His film hours and his study time was well noted when he was at not only Jackson, but high school, as well as, like, when we had layovers, we would be getting on the board in the Admirals Club. We got on the board, man, and I was putting defenses up there, and he was putting the offenses up there, trying to dissect them. And Shiloh was putting the defense up there, and Grown was putting the offenses up there, trying to dial up a play to beat his brother. So that all that stuff was a lie, man. That bothered me. It didn't bother him, but that bothered me because I knew where it came from. But we never We took the high road. I never said where it came from. I know, dog. I'm connected like that with a lot of people. I was that before I was a coach. So we know what time it was. So when people are talking in the Cleveland media and saying this and saying that, we just sit back and laugh, man, because we know where it's coming from. We know exactly where it comes from. And it's funny because it's funny. You know, it's almost like someone's coming to tell you something, but you already know what they're going to say. You already know.
If there's one thing about the Sanders, y'all keep the receipts. Like, people over in the barbershop understand the receipts, but and the people that you guys and the people who've watched Colorado, because I tell you, my mother and my father, they see you aunties and uncles. We live in Ohio, but we was watching the Colorado games way back when it was stand up in Cleveland, Ohio. 10 o'clock was prime time.
We apologize for that bull jump we put on tape last year. We'll be better, okay? I apologize. I apologize. I get calls all day because the coaches are out recruiting and they FaceTiming me with the kids, and we got a big weekend coming up in Colorado as well this weekend, so I can't wait to see the recruits. So I apologize for that. I was saying, tell the aunties they're going to be back right this year, okay?
The aunties will appreciate that. Was there ever a moment where you were coaching Shedeur, whether that be high school and college, and you saw him respond to adversity in a way that really made you think for the first time, oh, he's going to be an NFL player?
The talking heads claimed he couldn't handle the complex reads of an NFL playbook, but they conveniently left out the gauntlet. Most college quarterbacks break under a single coaching change. Shedeur Sanders excelled while navigating 6 different coordinators, adapting his mind to new systems year after year, and calling his own audibles when the lights were brightest.
No, I knew that from the rip. Like, when he was 7 years old, he was checking off at the line, man. He'd look at it and see it, and he was checking off, putting us in the right position all the way through and all the way up. And he's a savant when it comes to that. So hearing the bull jump that we heard, like, come on, dog, like, you for real? Where'd it come from? Like, come on, man. Where'd that come from? That bothered me because you can't try to make my son out to be no dumb Negro, man, with all the tutelage and all the persons that has been in his life to help him elevate even besides me. Don't do that. That bother a brother right there. Don't do that. Don't make us out to be fools. We never been dummies.
When you hear that, coach, one of the critiques of Shedeur was not understanding the reads, the checks, the hots, the insides and outs. How did that make you feel as a coach, being there? You were there, seeing him, coaching him, and then also as a father.
Shedeur was successful as I don't know what in college football, and he had 6 coordinators. Think about that now, because we upped it every time, because when we felt like he's exhausted that, like he needs to go to another level, we upped it every time. And it was, I think, 4 or 3 at Jackson, and the same in Colorado, or 2, but he excelled and exceeded, and he called a lot of stuff. We got receipts. I wish you could see the timeouts. Bucky got them, man. We record every darn thing. I wish you could hear the timeouts at Colorado when we went to the sidelines. It's so funny because I saw it last season. I saw, I forget the kid's name, went in motion against the Bears, and he's like, run a seam. And I started laughing my butt off because I've seen that before.
Isaiah Bond?
Yeah. You didn't hear it on the copy? Run a seam. As the guy going in motion, because he saw it. He already saw the defense, what they were presenting. We didn't like that. We didn't like that because he takes pride in studying the game and preparing for the game, and we didn't like that.
And coach, Cleveland is kind of different. This city lives and dies with football. They've been looking for a quarterback for years. We've churned through a lot of quarterbacks.
Cleveland is a city that lives and dies by the gridiron, a fan base that has spent decades searching for stability under center. But a new era is taking shape. With an aggressive front office and an offensive coordinator who refuses to fit players into rigid boxes, the stage is quietly being set for a radical shift in Browns history.
Now, let me put my coach hat on for a minute.
Okay.
You had some guys that could do it and did it. But looking at it from a coach in a different perspective is you still got to elevate. The game plan, what you see, you had some killer receivers. I mean, come on, dog. You guys have had some killers out there wide. So you've had it. And I don't think, and I'm not taking a shot at nobody, and I don't want to do this. I don't even want to think people think I'm doing that. But it's been some players that has been phenomenal that have come through there, and some quarterbacks that has been phenomenal. I'm a Baker guy, man. I like Baker. I really do. I like what he's turned into. I know the development was a process, but I like who he is, what he's turned into. And it was talks of him fighting for in the MVP talk early in the seasons, the last couple seasons. So it's been there. You just got to put it together, man. And I think you got a GM that I adore. Like I really do. I think he gets it bad. Because he's a brother, for one. Secondly, because they hadn't won, but you got to understand most of the time the GMs and the head coaches are married together. But Mr. Berry, and I call him Mr. Berry, he's done a phenomenal job acquiring talent. Phenomenal to me. Our staff goes there and does a workshop. I think they're going next week as well for the second year straight. And that staff is phenomenal. The inner staff is phenomenal. I love the ownership. You know, I know they don't care. Yeah, they do care. They want to win. They want to win. They really want to. I know that for a fact. I'm not guessing. I know that for a fact. And I know the heart of Mr. Berry. I know his heart. And he wants to win at all costs.
Man, this is, there is always a thought process,
right?
That, maybe, Coach Prime, didn't get along with the general manager, didn't get along with the ownership, didn't get along. What are some things about Andrew Berry that you love the way and how he operates and speaks to Shedeur in terms of him communicating what the expectations are moving forward?
Okay, first of all, I played for 5 organizations. Name one that I didn't get along. I don't do that. And 4 in baseball. So it's never been, I don't get along. No. I've always understood the bigger picture and the vision. And I've always, I could pick up a phone and call all the owners that I played for that are living right now, and they're going to pick up on the first ring because they know it ain't no bull junk. So Andrew Berry, Mr. Andrew Berry, I love his thought process, man. And I love the way he navigates in the midst of a storm. Everybody talking, everybody yelling, everybody naysaying, everybody doing that. Did you care to look at that rookie class last season? The rookie class this season? Well, I know they hadn't played, they hadn't put it on grass, but they're building something that is tremendous, and they're not too far away. Of course, they need stability at the quarterback position. Of course, they need stability on the offensive line. Everything else, to me, got it. They got it. They got a killer on defense. I'm tired of y'all talking about trading him and get rid of it. That don't make no sense to me. That's a once in a lifetime man. That's a once in a lifetime man that you don't see no more. I don't get rid of that. Unless I could get your mama, daddy, uncle, cousins, and everybody in the trade for that. Because that's a grown man. That's a winner.
Notice how Prime completely dismisses the rumors of bad blood with the front office. The connection between Colorado and Cleveland runs deeper than the media is letting on.
But I love the way he operates, man. I just do. And I'm endeared because I'm not going to say he took a chance, but they drafted my kid when many turned their back. And there's still a puzzle. One day we're not gonna wait for anybody. With the Sanders combined, we're our own media conglomerate. We're gonna do our own. It's not gonna be a 30 for 30. It's gonna be a 2 for 100. We're gonna keep it 100 with 2 and tell what really happened.
Coach, do you believe that you've always been a trailblazer whenever it comes, and the thing that you have with well-off media is something that a lot of players and a lot of people have not had the vision to do so far. Do you think that is something that is a little uncomfortable when it comes to the media, when it comes to the way people perceive the Sanders, and the way you guys have been trailblazers and creating your own content and controlling your own narrative and your own messaging?
We don't talk about nobody. We don't do nothing to nobody. I know Shiloh had the little altercation that he spoke up for his brother. You got to understand, man, that's his brother, though. And God bless Mary Kay's soul. That's his brother. I mean, she said something, he said something. Media is different today. I know a lot of people don't respect the old school. I do, because I grew up in that era that we didn't have to say so. They had all the say so, and you had to just deal with the bull junk they put out. But it's different now. Now athletes can speak up. Like the Sanders could combine all our media and push one button, and we are pretty large if we want to do that. But we don't care to do that. But Shiloh spoke up for his brother, and he was ridiculed for that. We understand, but that's where we are in media. Just because someone has a ESPN or CNN or whatever on a flagship, that doesn't mean you're more potent and powerful than this man here, because he has a voice. He might not have been educated in school to articulate himself properly, but he has a voice. That's what's wrong with social media now. Everybody got a voice. Everybody feel like they got to say so. But see, I'm thankful, because on the flip side, a brother like you could come from where you come from and come up, because you're consistent with who you are and you speak facts and you have no ill will. Like you ain't got no horse in the race. Like you ain't talking about this because, oh, I love this cat or I don't like. No, it ain't like that with us, man. I don't have beef with people. I don't dislike nobody, man. I got love for everybody. But when you show me who you are, I got to believe you.
That's what you are a straight talker. You're a straight shooter, and a guy that is also seemingly a straight shooter is a new football coach, and he's a breath of fresh air so far for the Cleveland Browns, and especially dealing with him. Todd Monken tells it like it is.
God, I love him. God, I love him.
I tell you what, he also has a reputation for adapting his system to the quarterbacks instead of forcing quarterbacks into a rigid identity. What do you think this means for a player like Shedeur Sanders?
That Coach Monken gonna make it do what it does. You got to understand now, Willie Taggart was there in Baltimore with Coach Monken, right? Willie Taggart is my guy. You got to understand, Ozzie Newsome was there, correct? Ozzie Newsome is my guy. So as they do their homework, we do our homework. Like we know what we're getting. Like they know what they're getting. I'm pretty sure he had a file given to him on Shedeur and his attributes, his discontents, his lack thereof, his inconsistency. You got to have the same thing when you walk in that room. So we got him prepared as well in that first meeting. And I love him, man, because he's a straight shooter. He keeps it a buck. See, all these little side conversations and side relationships that was had before him, he ain't with that. Like now, he into the now. Let's do now. Quit asking me that bull junk. That's really what he wants to say. Quit asking me that bull junk, man. I ain't got time for that. What's up? That's how he get down, and I love it. And we know him. I was supposed to go actually next week, but I got to shoot a commercial to Cleveland to meet him because I want to meet him. Because I think it's vital that as a coach, not a dad, I could tell him a few things about grown, how to get him going. That wasn't asked of me a year ago. I don't understand it. Like even a guy like Travis Hunter being drafted to Jacksonville, and I've had him for the last 3. Don't you think you would want to talk to me to let me know, to ask me what gets him going and what backs him off and what, like, you would want to know that. So I anticipate, and I can't wait to have that conversation with Coach Monkey.
You know, competition has always been part of the Sanders family DNA.
Right.
And this is, I always tell you, this is box office. It's Deshaun Watson, it's Shedeur Sanders, it's NFL Network, it's CBS, it's NBA. Listen, it just come with the territory. Right. Now, as he prepares for this competition, what do you know about him, and as you call him, grown?
He loves it.
And the way he goes and attacks competitions.
He loves it. Now, it ain't gonna be no friendship. It ain't gonna be no lolly-dolly and, hey, dog, we're gonna go to eat after practice. Ain't none of that with him. He don't get down like that. Like, he ain't like that. Let's go. Let's work. Let's go. And I tell you what, when you see him start to get on receivers and start to really be a little more vocal there, you know he feeling it. You know he's in his rhythm. He's in his zone. Like he's there, because he didn't play none of that. And even as a shorty on up, you know, you run around right. It's get out. Let's go. Give me somebody else. Let's go. I don't care if it's a homie friend, even the lineman that was his dogs in Colorado, man, everybody got to do their job, and he got to do his. So it ain't, he thrives on competition. He loves it.
You spoke earlier about the competition level, and you know, there's a perception that, you know, from somebody looking in, that to some, Shedeur Sanders has lived a cushy life, has lived a life of luxury. But you spoke on the fact that you specifically, you went to where the competition was at when he was growing up. Do you think that's a big part of it?
Let's quit sugarcoating that thing, man. We went to the hood.
There it is.
We went to the hood. We went to the hood. We went to go get it. We had to compete. They had to be tough. They had to be good with them things too if somebody wanted to try them. So that's where we went. And you can ask anybody in DFW, anybody around the country, because we went and played everybody. We wanted all the smoke all around the country. So, you know, when we went to the Hall of Fame, we took 7 busloads of kids, man. We stopped in Louisville. We stopped in Memphis first and got with it. We stopped in Louisville next and got with it, and went to Canton and got with it. So we have been everywhere. Everybody know a truth in how we came up.
And that's the core of the Sanders philosophy. Let the game match the name. Shedeur didn't ask for a handout in the NFL. He asked for a bracket to compete.
He ain't backing down from that, man. He ain't had no silver spoon. He had access to platinum spoons, but we didn't use them.
Wow, that's look, I tell you what, that's the thing that a lot of people love, is the fact that if you're an athlete and you're a former athlete, only thing you want is the opportunity. And I tell people all the time, I say, you know, I think you guys get it wrong. Shedeur don't want nothing given to him. Every athlete wants to get out there, throw for throw, check for check, and see who gonna get it. And I think a lot of people, because of the name, I think they forget that he was really about that life and really did it from going to Jackson State to Colorado.
They looking at the name, my brother. They forget about the game. What about the game? Because the name wouldn't be the name without the game. I wouldn't be sitting in front of you articulating the way I'm articulating if I didn't have that game. You know, you got to have the game. And that's what's wrong with college sports right now. Everybody want the NIL. Everybody want that. I don't even know why they call it NIL. There ain't no name, image, and like you barely see anybody on TV or endorsing anything. Really, we just give them the money. All right,
there it is.
Much. All right, but some of them want it before the game matches it. The game ain't matching the name. Come on, man. and we don't want it. Like, we don't want endorsements, right? We don't want that. Come on, let's get our game together. Let's get straight. Then we'll accept that kind of stuff, man. But the thing about it, man, you can't all of a sudden get to Cleveland and flip the script. Like the young man that he is, the stuff that you see him in the community, in the hood, giving and living and loving, that's who he is. So you think all of a sudden that changed after the draft? No, man, that's who he's been. If anybody have done their homework and research and searched him beforehand, you understand that's who he's always been. So that troubled me, all the bull junk that was said previously, because I think that was tied to me. I think certain people thought I wanted their jobs, and I never wanted their job. I love Colorado, man. I love my kids that I have in that locker room. I love the staff. I love all of it. I ain't trying to coach on NFL. And I think a couple people may have thought that. And they thought if they brought him in, it would be that. I guarantee you, if you put our GMs in a lie detector and ask them that question, that machine gonna bungee jump.
Skip a couple beats.
But God got him right where he wanted, man, and right in the position that he wanted. So I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I really like Cleveland, man. I really like Cleveland for him. I really do.
Well, a lot of people that support Shedeur heavily. I told them when I was stepping out on the ledge, I said, listen, let me tell you something. They say, he got to go. Yeah, listen, get him somewhere else. These guys I said, listen, no. I said, let me just tell you something. God put you certain places for a reason.
Preach.
And when you there, you can't escape the fire, because Lord knows that, where I was at and what he was doing and how he was moving, only by grace I even got to where I'm at. But he said, sometimes you got to sit there and be uncomfortable. And sometimes you got to sit there. And I said, so we not going. I respect what you're saying, but we gonna take him. We would like to keep him. We're not trading to the Jets, to the wherever you want to go. We like him just fine over here. Let me ask you this question in terms of that. From the time I talked to Boog in a conversation, and Boog said, he called him and he was holding a lot, and he said, he was holding a lot of what he went through.
Right. Now
that he's gone through that, and you've had an opportunity a few times to check in, go back home. Congratulations on getting his degree. What have you seen that has shown him going through the fire and some of the things that he's built that relationship with God and really building his as his own man of God?
Maturity. When he take off his shirt, I see the scars on his back. That he's been through hell, but he's made it through hell. See, a lot of people stop in the middle when they're walking through it. He kept going. And he matured, not like he was a child, but matured spiritually. Well, understand, you can't force this. If it ain't your time, just sit back, prepare yourself, get ready. I can remember telling him at the beginning of the season, I said, by the time you play, and he could tell you this, man, by the time you play against the Raiders, you'll be starting. And I'm coming. Like we already said that. It wasn't before, it wasn't that. We said, this is the time. Because they got, all the other bull junk got to play out. It has to play out. It has to be. So when they turn to you, it's going to be on. That's going to be your first start. That's going to be it. But his maturity, man, his maturation, the conversations, we've always had great conversations because there's a lot of respect, and he understands I'm the daddy. Sometimes he thinks he's the father, but he understands I'm the daddy. And we talk about life. We talk about business. We talk about the game. We talk about a little bit of everything. Like my text message to him before the games and after the games are something to behold. And it ain't baby, and I never have. And you can ask anybody. I remember one of our quarterbacks at Colorado thought that, well, you didn't treat Shedeur like that. I said, Bucky, pull it up, bring it to practice tomorrow. So we put the computer, here you go. You hear me standing behind the huddle say, man, that was the dumbest throw I ever see. What is wrong with you? Like I was checking. And it is what it is. So you're going to get what he got if that's what you want. So it was never been about his maturation, man, and his calmness and his peace. And right now he's in a wonderful place, man. He's in a wonderful place. He's working on his game. Like I went to my daughter's graduation the other day. Time I walk in the room, I look down, football in the cleats in the bag. That means he done put in work that morning. In the bag at the graduation. So it's work. He go to work. Went to see his brother Shiloh, I think a couple weeks ago. Work. Up in the morning, work. That's just who he's always been. So when all that bull junk was said, man, that now you gotta understand that somebody lying you put your daddy hat on when somebody lying about your child, man. That bothered me. It really did.
A rare, unfiltered look at Coach Prime, putting the whistle away and speaking strictly as a father who had to watch his son walk through the fire alone.
Really, really, really did. Because you know why, my brother, and I'm going to tell you this, I ain't never told nobody this publicly. That was the first time in my life that I couldn't fix it. I've always been able to fix it with all my kids. But as that bull jump was going on and everything, it was I couldn't fix it. And he wanted me to fix it. And I didn't have the power to fix it. And that hurt. Because I felt like I wasn't there for my son. Why we didn't have an agent? Well, you projected to go, what, first or second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I've been through this. So why you need that? It don't make sense to give somebody 4 or 5% or 3%, whatever they're giving now, and you know where you slide it.
Have you, as a man of faith, have you been from time to time in your prayer, have you asked why? And what has God told you about it?
Dog, you want me to walk around this crib with this camera? The one, I'm in Texas. You want me to walk around this acreage? You want me to go in Colorado, walk around that one? You want me to walk around my life, their life? If I didn't ask why then, why would I ask why now? God is good, dog. You're talking about a moment. You talk about a moment of his life that was uncomfortable, that he's never been uncomfortable. And you want me to ask God why? Brother, please. No, man. Why this? Why this peace I got in my heart that passes all understanding? Why I reach out to a brother like you to show you love and give you love because you deserve it, and I want you to soar. Like, come on, man. We don't ask why. Because we don't have to question God about the good things. We ain't questioning about the bull jump. Come on, man. We ain't built like that. None of my kids, they weren't raised like that. And I got 4 out of 5 that are graduated from college. And the only reason the other one ain't graduated from college because she graduated from the game of life. my first grandson is kicking her butt right now, so she's going to college right now.
The college of hard knocks. They used to say
100 are keeping her buck.
Coach. That's a testimony to some people out there that when the chips is down and you think about asking why, you got to always understand that it's in his perfect timing. And so
that ain't down, dog. Like I don't. I've said this a multitude of times. I don't have bad days, man. Bad moments, bad situations. Yeah, but not a bad day. I got control of that. We don't have a bad year. Just like when he answered the question when the dude say, "Well, you used to be the man." What he said? Used to.
Right.
Like we ain't built like that. We weren't taught like that. This man on this property, the same property across, we call it the Brown House. We got the Brown House, Red House, got several houses on the property. I'm not bragging, I'm not boasting, I'm just testifying. We were on the porch over there doing interviews when he was in high school, man. As a freshman, we were practicing for this. We didn't just practice for the monumental moments. We practiced on the bull jump too. So that's why he was able to handle it. And he was funny. I remember the time they went crazy because he was miming stuff. See, that was funny to us because that we've done stuff like that. But he didn't realize that you can't do it. They can do it. It's cool.
They went crazy.
They do it, but it's a problem when you do it, you can't do that.
They went nuts.
It didn't bother him because he's unbothered with that. Like what he loves to do, man, and I may be talking too much. He loves to make music, man. Because that's the way he exhausts his thoughts in his heart and what's going on in his mind. So he go home, he ain't in the club, he ain't out, son, he ain't out drinking, smoking, doing his bull junk. He at home, man, making music. Guess where he get that from? His daddy did it.
While the media tried to paint Shedeur as a kid distracted by Hollywood and the spotlight, the reality was completely different. Behind closed doors, away from the cameras, music became his escape, a way to block out the noise, lock in his focus, and prepare for the ultimate test in Cleveland.
I got to ask you this. Now this is, as we do our research, now we talk about it all the time. The Must Be the Money video is iconic. It was ahead of his time. He was one of the first athletes that was moving around, getting in the booth and doing those certain things. I was doing my research and they talked about, is it true that record and you doing music could have actually been on death row?
Yeah, it was. But I couldn't allow it to come out like that because of the conglomerate of endorsements I had.
So you and Suge Knight, we was right. It was that we could have. You'd have been over there with Pac, Snoop,
Suge, Snoop, the Dog Pound, Daz Corrupt, all of them. That was my dude. They're still my dudes to this day. To this day, like that's the wonderful part about the family, man. We've had the propensity to touch everybody. The rappers, the entertainers, the movie stars, all that. Like Daddy been with them all and chopped it up with them all. Even when somebody going through turbulent times, Young Thug, what's up, baby? Talk to me now. Talk to me. What we going? What we doing? Like those are my guys. I check on them because I love them like that, man. And they play such a vital role in our society. I just want them straight. Along with my kids, so they give my kids love. Like when my kids go to Atlanta, shoot, 2 Chainz, he'll go to the studio, chop it up and spit, and they look out. They look out for him.
I thought I want to thank you, Coach Prime. You've been very generous with your time. We appreciate you. I got one final thing before we get out of here to ask you. Given you've accomplished almost everything imaginable in life, 2 sports, Super Bowls, played in the World Series, endorsement deals, everything. At this stage in your life, when you watch your son step into his own journey, what matters more now to you? Is it the success or continuous success, or is it the impact that you look to have? Because you just mentioned about everybody that you touch in different places.
It's twofold. That's a great question, my brother. Number one is at Colorado, I want to win. I want to win it all. Like it ain't no negotiations. It ain't no sidestepping. Like that's my number one goal. Now, when it comes to my son, and I'm putting on my daddy hat, he has already surpassed me with influence. And sometimes he doesn't know how influential he is. He don't understand that he could walk in a room with anybody and they're gonna know who he is. And demographically, from 8 years old all the way to my fans that may be 70, he has their eyes and ears, and they want him to succeed. Some want to see him fail, but either way, they want something. And he got it, man. Like he has an anointing on his life that he's a bona fide leader. He's always been, but he's a good person. Like his heart, talking too much, but I'm gonna tell you this because I love him. My kid who passed away, Dominic Ponder, recently in Colorado, and we had the possessions probably about a month ago. You know, Shedeur calls the mother every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he takes the daughter who's a teenager to the mall every time he goes to Miami to shop and just give him love. But he talks to the mother every day. She told me that, not him, because he don't even say stuff like that. He moves like his daddy, but his heart is unbelievable. That's why all the bull junk that was said a year ago, come on, man. And the bad thing about it, my brother, we kept quiet and we know where it came from. All right.
Coach Prime. I want to thank you so much for joining the platform. I want to thank you so much for allowing me to be the first local Cleveland media member to sit down with you and talk about the things that really matter, who you truly are, who your son is, what your family represents. And I just want to thank you for taking your time out to do that, because there's a lot of people that are out there supporting Shedeur Sanders. And I'll just say this in closing. What he did for those people in Cleveland when the projects burned down and people lost their lives and lost everything. I saw him out there giving his time, his energy. And he said, there were some people that said, I shouldn't even have been out there in that neighborhood, but he went anyway. And when you do like stuff like that for disenfranchised people and you ain't even from here, you just been here 2 weeks. I told myself, and, I got emotion on the stream. I said, you know what? There's a lot of people, there's kids walking around who ain't never had nobody ever go nowhere and say that they matter. No, didn't have the money. The people ain't going to come with the cameras. Somebody lose their life. Guess what? It's just part of where you at. But I said, after he did that, football aside, hey, who I don't know what the future holds. I think he's a great player. I think he's going to do great, and he's going to be a franchise quarterback in Cleveland. But on a human level, I will always respect him for what he did and continues to do for his people.
I appreciate you. In closing, man, Mr. Haslam, Mr. Andrew Berry, I got love for him. I don't want that misconstrued, because they gave my son a chance. So forever, I got love for him. And they're going to win. Believe that. God bless you, my brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
I want God to shower his blessings all amongst you. And then one day I'm going to come and sit in the shop with you and chop it up, my brother.
Hey, I appreciate you, Coach Prime. We will talk to you soon. God bless, and you have a great rest of your day.
The noise will keep spinning and the skeptics will keep talking. But as Coach Prime made perfectly clear, the receipts have been kept, the foundation is solid, and Shedeur Sanders is right where he belongs. Cleveland wanted a quarterback who wouldn't flinch in the dark, and they just might have found him.